In this season, we show you some of the hottest design hotels from around America and abroad. From cool urban retreats to luxurious country estate living. This is a design travel show like no other. Welcome to Hotels by Design. Our ByDesign team of industry experts have done the hard work for you, so you can choose your next design vacation destination.
Hospitality design is such a specialty in architecture. The level of quality and finishes that come together to create these wonderful spaces. Every hotel has its own personality from the lobby to the room, and to bring all of that together requires a lot of rigor and discipline and creativity.
Let's get started with our first design hotel. A question for you. What is the most densely populated country in Europe? Is it Germany? Spain? It is in fact Malta. Google it. But Malta does have some fabulous rural areas. And one of them is the old capital, Mdina.
Mike, welcome to Mdina, the old capital city.
Wow.
A place where I grew up as a child, and lots of lovely memories here. These are the lovely bells of the cathedral here, and I'm going to take you up there, Mike, to show you a little bit of an experience what I used to do as a child when we used to ring the bells. As a child, again, I used to be a good boy and an altar boy, and every now and then I was on a very lucky occasion I was actually able to be brought up here to ring the bells.
Wow, you used to ring these big bells.
These lovely bells, and I just wanted to show you this lovely viewpoint from here.
Yeah.
Because you can really see, it's really spectacular.
Yeah, this must be one of the highest points in Malta.
It is, you can see, obviously you can see all around, and on a clear day sometimes you can really see Sicily.
And you really get a good idea of the scale of the old city from up here.
Yeah, you can see the walled city, and obviously with all the ramparts and everything, and it looks really fantastic, So these bells, we would have these strings, and we'd sort of like,
wow!
There we go, every half hour.
Took me by surprise.
Yeah.
The heart leapt out of my chest. And who used to live here?
A lot of the noble families used to live here in Mdina. This is the main street of Mdina. And over here, this is where my great-great-grandmother used to live. My great-grandfather was also the Chief Justice here in Malta.
And I understand somewhere here you own a palace.
Yeah, we have a little palace just around the corner. So why don't I take you there and we'll come and see it, yeah?
Please, just take me to the palace.
So welcome to the palace, the Xara Palace.
The Xara Palace. Why? What does Xara mean?
Xara is something I don't have, Mike. It's in Maltese, it's hair. Oh. But anyway, welcome to the Xara Palace, please.
When did your family acquire this property?
So we acquired the property in '95, where my father actually met the owner, and it was just a gentleman's agreement and a handshake.
Ha! Don't you love it?
Fantastic.
So what did you acquire?
So we acquired, at the time it was a 2-star hotel with 32 rooms, and we got from 32 rooms, we got it down to 12 rooms, and we extended another 5 rooms up on top.
Okay, so that seems counterintuitive. You decrease the number of rooms.
We did a study of the building and we wanted to recreate the rooms to the original sizes. So we did a lot of work in recreating the palace as it originally was.
So take this space, for example.
We recreated the piano nobile and put in the original staircase to showcase these rooms.
Right, so you really brought it back to its original 17th century architecture.
Yeah, the idea was to have these original pieces of works of art really make people feel at home and as if they're living in a palace.
Now, Susan, you and Justin hand-picked pieces for this hotel.
That's right, yes. Some of it came from my home. Yeah. Others we bought.
I mean, look at this piece. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's magnificent. It's an old sacristy cupboard. And then we have that lovely door. That was an old church door. Oh. And originally we bought it together with the reception desk from a church. In that room there, near the lift, there's coat of arms of all the knights of Malta, yes, and their coins.
Just so many fabulous pieces wherever
I
you
know.
look.
My husband's a real collector.
Been awarded the Michelin star now, last month again for the 6th year. We were one of the first restaurants in Malta to achieve this achievement. It was a huge milestone for us, you know. It's a dream came true.
Yeah.
But a lot of hard work, dedication, and a very, very good team inside. So I'm very proud of them. Malta is this tiny island. We have very, very good seafood and very good fish. So I thought I start you off with our tribute to the Mediterranean Sea. It's our local prawn carpaccio, finished off with terra salata and local tomatoes.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Mike, you're staying here tonight.
I could possibly stay in this
You
room?
can possibly stay here. But I just want to tell you a little story about this particular door. When we had bought the property, there was this wall over here.
Yeah.
And there I was scraping along, and my hand went through. And I started opening up, and then we end up finding this door, which was a really unique piece.
You revealed this
So
entire...
we revealed it. It was really fantastic. I mean, I was trying to look for a treasure, but here it is. This was the treasure that I found.
Absolutely is
Really
a treasure.
fantastic.
Yeah. So is this what every room is like?
You know, the palace is made up of 17 individual different designed rooms and suites.
Yeah.
Not one is the same, they're all different. And you know, you have some of them which are within the thickness of the ramparts of the medieval city.
So within the width of the original walls?
It is, but some of them are actually also from within the thickness, but they also come into the palace as well.
Yeah.
So it's really unique. Let me just show you this beautiful palace opposite, which is dating back to about 1720.
The 1720s, that's kind of young by European standards.
European standard it is. It was the old law courts. And from this terrace on top of the 3 arches over here is where the town crier used to read out the proclamations to the people that used to meet in the square.
Wow, to all the townsfolk below.
All the townsfolk.
What a sense of place from here on this balcony. I think I've made my choice already. I love this room.
Mike, you know what? I might have another surprise for you. So, Mike, another choice I'd like to show you. Something
Another
else.
choice, yes.
Come in. This was the old pharmacy.
Wow, when you say old, how old?
We're talking about 16th century.
Imagine all the lotions and potions.
And all the mixtures that they used to have.
Yeah.
And these were the old doors.
The old pharmacy doors.
Yeah, the old pharmacy doors.
Wow. And then out to this fabulous courtyard.
Yeah, Mike, once again, we're actually within the fortifications of Mdina.
Okay, that's, yes, within the walls.
Within the actual walls, yeah.
Wow. So what state was this in when you stumbled across it?
We were really blessed. More or less it was in the state that it's in. We did like to put in our own touches.
Yeah.
So I have my grandfather's writing desk and his also own potion cabinet as well.
His drinks cabinet.
His drinks cabinet, which he used to enjoy.
So Justin, who stays here?
This is for someone that wants to have their own property and have their own space. And being here in Mdina is something actually quite unique. Being like a local.
Yes, living like a local for a few days. In the end, I choose this, the Palazzino Belvedere. Belvedere because of all this. I feel like royalty gazing out over my kingdom. The Xara Palace is a true labour of love for Justin and his family, the latest custodians of these unique and historic Maltese properties.
It's glam, it's grand, it helped to change American history. Welcome to the Hermitage Hotel in Nashville, where the crown jewel of Beaux-Arts meet 5-star luxury. Thank you so much for inviting me to visit your wonderful hotel.
I can't wait to tell you more about
Oh my
it.
God, the feeling is definitely impeccable. Tell us about this marble.
Well, built in 1910,
And to think that this Beaux-Arts masterpiece still exists today, the only commercial building still standing.
Wow.
The Carrara marble that borders a lobby was really the inspiration to the color palette and the design of the property. Every inch of this building tells a story and a connection to history. In fact, part of the design was to really find a beautiful juxtaposition that complements history, modern, future, and yet grounds you in present day. But the very space that we're standing in was the epicenter of the suffrage movement in 1920, which eventually led to the ratification of the 19th Amendment giving women the right to vote. And those who were in support of the movement wore a yellow rose. This is a national historic landmark and one that cemented its role in American history. Welcome to Druzy and Dar.
Wow.
This space really was a culmination between Thomas Johansen, a phenomenal Danish designer, along with Chef Jean-Georges, who is a global culinarian, a visionary, and we couldn't be more pleased and honored to have him in Nashville. What a remarkable space. The natural materials that you see throughout the space really help accentuate the beautiful vaulted ceilings.
Yes, Thomas did a very fabulous job. And for me, the lighting designer, it was a great challenge. You know, how do you make it bright for lunch, make it bright for breakfast?
We're gonna wait, but who was the lighting designer?
Okay, l'Observatoire International. So let's cheer
to Jean-Georges.
Jean-Georges with his favorite drink.
Cheers.
A Negroni. Cheers, Jean-Georges. Love the Negroni.
Let me tell you about this remarkable historical bar. Everything original to 1910 was protected and preserved, including the ceiling, the architecture, the original oak paneling. I know that there was not too much you could actually do with this space.
I remember not being able to touch anything on the ceiling because of the historical aspect
That's
of it.
right, that's right. We moved the bar into what was an original space, which now anchors a dining room. And does it not just have the most beautiful glow?
I feel the warmth. It's
Yes.
a fireplace.
Funniest thing is this little charming window right behind you where women were served on the other side because they weren't allowed to come inside the bar.
Unbelievable.
And you know what's really funny? More women have been in the men's bathroom than men. You want to go check it out?
I want to check it out.
Let's go.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow. Incredible. I've seen this on the must-see list everywhere.
Everywhere. How often can you say you walk into a hotel to go see the men's bathroom?
I love it.
You've got this bold green and black, original glass tiling with original terrazzo floor, the sinks, the urinals. It's all original to 1930s.
And it's beautiful.
It has been part of video shoots, photo shoots, movies. It was celebrated as the best bathroom in the world at one
And it's
point.
a great conversation place.
Isn't it? We're sitting in a pretty important seat. You know, Elvis had his shoe shined here at one time. Many times we've been asked, well, why is the women's room not that cool? Well, it is now. We created a sister to the brother bathroom, and it's spectacular.
I think we should take a picture there if we can.
We've got to go check it out.
All right, let's go. It's time for our selfie.
Is this not the most
Let's do
glamorous
it.
thing ever? Okay, ready?
Love it.
You look so chic.
You look fabulous.
It's like Elizabeth Taylor would love to be here. Can you imagine?
This space is really special because it was originally an outdoor space. It was the balcony for the hotel, the grand balcony. So these windows were not there. It was completely open and the hotel began here. So all of these walls are actually exterior terracotta, glazed terracotta.
It's why there's so much patina on them.
Yes, exactly. There's plenty of patina. All we did was clean it. We didn't do anything else to it. But the colors in the terracotta are what sort of started the color scheme for the rest of the hotel. With
Okay,
the
I
blue.
can see that. What about the ceiling?
The ceiling came about because of the fact that this was an exterior space originally, and I wanted it to still feel that way. So we hired a wonderful artist here in town, but he went overboard and did really realistic clouds, which are gorgeous. And then he surprised us with the final little detail. He painted a little bird up
This
in the
one here.
ceiling, and we've now taken that bird concept and made him the sort of ambassador for the hotel all the way through.
Now we're walking inside of the presidential suite, and I heard many presidents or celebrities have stayed here. Do you know about them?
There are rumors. We don't know who stays here because the hotel is very discreet, and that's one of the reasons that it is the destination hotel. This space is, I think, my favorite space in the hotel because it is so private and it's so quiet. This suite was 4 different rooms that we gutted, or we tore out some walls and expanded into this beautiful...
It's a nice apartment.
Yeah, it really is.
I
could live here for sure.
Yes. And tell me, were you part of the selection of the artwork as well?
Yes. We actually commissioned all of the pieces in this space specifically for the space.
Wow! Oh la la, as we say in French. What a beautiful room here. It's huge.
Well, merci. This is one of the results of how we enlarged the rooms and reduced the count of the rooms so that it was a very luxurious 5-star experience in every way. Yeah, I think you noticed when we walked in, we went through this beautiful dressing area that was bespoke, we made specifically for this. This is a larger guest room in other floors, but it's still a guest room.
Deborah, I love the same thing, the tone, how you choose the tone of the room, how the art is displayed. I think it's extremely sensitive.
Thank you.
I am sure this room, I've seen so many incredible events.
Some of the most amazing socialite galas, to political events, to media production, weddings, you name it, it's been the place to gather.
And it remained like almost intact.
It is very original. The original walnut paneling, original, incredible plaster ceiling. Everything is really as it was. All we did really is restore and create a new, softer palette to accompany all of the social events that are important here. And we restored the original chandeliers.
You get to talk about lighting now, Hervé.
Finally!
It's your stage.
All right, thank you. The overall vision for the Hermitage was to restore the emotion of the warmth, the color of the incandescent light, bringing back the flame, the candle, the incandescent, and it was a beautiful collaboration.
It was.
What a wonderful place for an afternoon tea. The mood is absolutely perfect.
Well, afternoon tea has long been served for decades. This version of tea was really fun because it was in partnership with Draper James, founded by Reese Witherspoon. What a beautiful way to celebrate beloved Southern brands, and not to forget Mr. Jack Daniels over here, who also plays an important part because you can't spill tea without having whiskey in a teacup.
I think we should have a splash of it.
Yes,
we
let's
should.
do.
But before that, let's celebrate.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is not a hotel. This is the Queen Mary 2, and she's huge. She's as long as the Eiffel Tower is tall, and she's the flagship of the Cunard fleet. Stephen.
Hello.
Now I understand this is your favourite spot here.
Well, welcome to Queen Mary 2, the greatest ship in the world.
Wow, no less.
And yet, this is the main entrance lobby, and it's the heart and beating soul of the ship.
Now you were there from day one. You're the guy who created all this.
Yes, my boss, Mickey Harrison, came to me one day and he said, I've got $1 billion. I want you to design a ship to take over from Queen Elizabeth II. And he said, you're not going to get a penny more. You're only going to get one chance in your lifetime to do this, so you better get it correct.
I mean, this was the brief of a lifetime for you.
Absolutely. You think I was 37 years old? To be put in charge of building this was just amazing. For me, it was drawing a line on a piece of paper to represent 345 meters in length. And that's the maximum length I could design the ship to fit into the port of Southampton and New York.
And I'm kind of aware of that line right here. You can see right through here.
Yeah, isn't this marvellous? There's no other ship that has this sort of vista from the aft dining room, Britannia, right up forward.
It's an ocean liner, isn't it? Which is different to most cruise ships.
Many people get confused. What's the difference between an ocean liner and a cruise ship? And really, this ship is weather independent. It's designed to go through heavy weather without having to slow down, whereas a cruise ship, if it runs into a really big storm, has to slow down or divert. But this ship, an ocean liner, can cut through it.
So how many ocean liners are there?
Well, there's only one, and it's this one. All the other ones are museum ships, so this is the only one that's still in service.
Oh, goodness. So, Stephen, who's that guy?
That is Sir Samuel Cunard, who founded the company in 1840. And if you look very closely at Sir Samuel, he hides a secret.
Okay. Lee.
Mike, hi, welcome.
Thank you. And another grand space.
This is the Britannia restaurant, the largest restaurant on board Queen Mary 2, and is actually named after the very first ship that crossed the Atlantic as part of the Cunard fleet, the Britannia. And I'm told the Britannia would actually comfortably fit within this space.
Ah, get out.
The whole ship, indeed. Shows you how far ocean travel has moved on.
Exactly. Wow. And I'm seeing Art Deco as well.
Art Deco across the area. I mean, you can see that this really does celebrate the golden age of travel. And no more so than this 30-foot high tapestry designed by a Dutch artist called Barbara Brookwood. And it symbolises and captures the departure of a Cunard line from New York. You can see the Brooklyn Bridge just ahead of her, and a real sense of celebration as that ticker tape goes across the space. And I think that really does symbolise what happens in the atmosphere in this restaurant every evening, a real sense of celebration and occasion.
Now, a 1,200-seat restaurant. Is it just me, or is this table bigger than the rest?
Well spotted, Mike. This is a very special table in the restaurant. This is the captain's table. So if you're lucky enough to be sailing on board Queen Mary 2, you may well get an invite to dine with the captain and enjoy a real sense of occasion in the Britannia restaurant.
Captain Nassim, you're the captain of the only ocean liner in existence today. How is that for you?
You do have to pinch yourself every morning to remind yourself, but absolute privilege, and it is a privilege, to be in command of this floating palace. And it is a palace designed for the ocean, and it's like a knife through butter. It really is. And as Ricky Martin said, she moves all over the world.
So I've met Stephen, the designer of this ship. What do you think of his work? Are you a fan?
Everything I would honestly say is perfect except one thing, and he knows it. It's the size of my bath. He goes, other ship captains have it bigger.
Okay, Mike, are you ready to see one of the most exclusive residences at sea?
Please.
Welcome. Welcome to the Balmoral Suite. Over 2,300 square feet of luxury accommodation.
Are you kidding? This is a cabin, a suite.
This is a suite for you to enjoy across the Atlantic Ocean. This is your living space. We're trying to tell the story of Art Deco and ocean travel. So across some of the pattern work, the textiles, you can see the repeating geometric patterns really celebrating Art Deco.
I'm seeing that.
And then with a private residence, obviously comes a private butler.
Of course.
And that private butler will cater to your every need, whether it be unpacking, whether it be arranging a fine dining experience for you in your own private suite, or indeed, you can host a cocktail party.
And of course, if you've got a suite like this, why would you not entertain?
Cocktails, champagne flowing, canapes, you can imagine. Now, imagine Mike retiring at the end of a fabulous evening on board to this very special space. Take a look at this.
Oh, look.
Now this room is actually inspired by Eltham Palace, a very famous historic palace in England. And you can see it really envelops you, really cocoons you, so you can feel really warm and comfortable for that good night's rest.
And then in the morning?
In the morning, imagine looking out to an endless horizon across the transatlantic ocean. Mike, let me show you one of my favourite spaces on the ship. This is Queen Mary 2's library, one of the world's largest libraries at sea, and 6,000 books before you.
and such beautiful cabinetry.
Really making all the literature centre stage. This is where guests really like to just sit down, relax, and choose a book to while away the days. 7 days to cross the Atlantic, and there's no better space just to read away.
And so calming.
Really calming, tranquil atmosphere here. And Mike, you'll never guess who was one of the first guests in the early days of Cunard to sail.
Tell me.
Charles Dickens himself.
This is the forward face of the superstructure.
Yeah.
And you notice this strange curved slope?
Yeah, because that's normally flat, isn't it, on a ship?
That's right. Well, I wanted something original for the ship, and so it's actually modelled on a sandcastle I built at Bournemouth Beach when I was a 9-year-old. Building the sandcastle, and the sea comes in, and it collapses and forms this conical shape.
Give me a bucket and some sand and $1 billion.
That's right, and you can create this.
and what's going on here?
Well, Mike, these are our spare propeller blades. We've got 4 propellers, and we carry 2 spares for each of the propellers. And we carry them in case on a long extended voyage we damage a propeller and we need to change one of the blades.
So it's kind of like changing a spare tyre. Sometimes you need to change a blade.
Very much like it. The other great thing is that passengers walking around can see them, and they're affectionately known as the Commodore's cufflinks.
I like that. I guess they're kind of like an Insta moment on the ship.
Oh, absolutely. It's the perfect place for passengers to have their photographs taken.
I've come back to this picture of Sir Samuel Cunard to see what the secret is. And actually, as you get closer, you can see the picture is made up of every single vessel, 249 in fact, that Cunard has ever owned since 1840. This ship, from its very structure to the finest of design details, really has captured the essence of the great story that is ocean travel. This project in suburban Denver, Colorado, is a different kind of hospitality concept, and one that grew out of adversity. Brooks, what was the problem?
The problem for me was the changing regulations in the city of Denver regarding short-term rentals.
So you mean like Airbnb and the like?
Exactly. So 2 and 3 night stays, the properties that used to be able to rent in that fashion, you no longer can. So my response was the Berkeley Hotel.
So this was your pivot?
This was the pivot. So we've got 17 apartment-like hotel units right here in the heart of Berkeley that give people visiting the city of Denver a chance to live like a local. This is one of the more popular neighborhoods west of Denver where young families and young people are moving to. People from out of state are kind of flocking to this area, and I wanted to give people a chance to experience this neighborhood like somebody who lives here would.
So this is the lobby. Where's the reception desk?
We don't have your traditional check-in desk. Our guests receive all of their pre-stay information via an email before they arrive. So they get a digital code to get in the front door, customized code to get in their unit. So we've bypassed the front desk experience.
So it really is a light touch hotel.
Yeah, we found post-COVID, a lot of travelers, after a long day, they just want to get to their unit. They don't want to stop, fill out paperwork with information that a hotel already has.
Chad, you were the lead architect on this project, and I like looking at the materials. They're honest.
We always try to select materials that are not overly processed. Steel, masonry, concrete, and glass, because we think those materials have more authenticity and they're more timeless.
And great use of light in this space.
Yeah, unlike your typical hotel where you come off of an elevator and you find yourself traversing a long corridor without windows, we wanted to do something different here. We've used deluxe skylights at the top of this atrium space, which is allowing this to flood light into the atrium, and we think it's nice because it creates some connectivity to the outdoors.
And also the art is another feature.
Yeah, you know, Brooks has a very interesting art collection, and he's really used the hotel almost like a gallery space. And in fact, you know, the painting that you see at the end there is one that was created by his mom, Alison Farron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at the connection to the neighborhood. Fantastic. And a greedier developer, I think, would have had that wall out here. We'd be glassed right out to here.
Absolutely. I mean, your normal hotel is going to maximize square footage, right? So, you know, while it's not interior hotel room square footage, it's usable outdoor space for the people that come and visit.
Look at these wonderful layers playing out here.
Again, that's part of the storyline of bringing people into this neighborhood. They come in the front door and that trip all the way up to this balcony, they feel connected to the atrium. And when they get up here, they've got this visual connection to the people on the street and to the other people staying at the hotel.
And look at that concrete, how wonderfully raw.
Yeah, I think we have a really unique palette of materials on this project. It adds, you know, character to the spaces, right? You know, we've got, of course, exposed concrete. That's also a structural skeleton. We've got this beautiful porcelain tile floor, which adds warmth to the space. We also have this really unique brick textured facade here. You don't normally see the backside of a brick when it's put on the building, but it's got its own character, right? It's got its own texture. And we also have specified the Cunard design flooring from their Corlock collection, which adds warmth and durability to the space.
Yeah, inside the apartment, it's not blinged up, is it? It's appropriate, it's an apartment.
They're very beautifully appointed, but they're intended to live more like your home, right? You're gonna bring people all the way out to stay in a neighborhood in Denver.
Yeah.
You wanna make them feel like they're a part of the neighborhood, right?
Part of this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Up on the roof here, something that's just occurred to me is those concrete columns are actually structural. They're doing the heavy lifting of the building.
Yeah, in fact it is. It's a concrete structural exoskeleton. You know, it functions to actually support the building. And not only that, it's, you know, multifunctional. It creates this beautiful outdoor porch that activates the street.
You know what, Brooks? This doesn't happen every time that a developer prioritizes design, but you clearly do.
Yeah, I mean, one of my priorities with every project that I've done is I want to build a building that adds to the fabric of the neighborhood, improves the fabric of the neighborhood. You know, I want to come back 20 years from now and show off the buildings that I've done.
Engaging spaces, thoughtful investment in material choices, and a client who prioritizes good design. The Berkeley Hotel makes a positive contribution to its neighborhood. It really is everything you want architecture to be. We hope you've enjoyed our look at some of the hottest design hotel experiences from around America and abroad. Join us next time for more breathtaking design vacation destinations on Hotels by Design. To learn more about special offers or to book any of the hotels, resorts or experiences featured in this season, go to bydesign.global.